So just take a breath and close your eyes for a moment. And you've already done this once, where you know already how to be relaxed, relaxed, and alert at the same time. And this is a journey that we're taking that is going to require your alertness. Because I wonder if you could just allow yourself to become completely relaxed. Just relax the hands and feet first, and then the calves and forearms, and then the thighs and upper arms, and then the torso, as if the torso is being filled with sand. Just allow the torso to be gently filled with warm sand as you continue to be alert and relaxed at the same time. And there's something funny about this sand, because instead of weighing you down, it actually creates a lightness. Even though it feels satisfying and warm, you find yourself floating up above the surface of the place that you're sitting a few inches. And of course, you can just imagine it now. And then as your buoyancy increases, you can just allow yourself to drift up through the roof of the place that you're in, and realize that you're still warm and safe and alert. As you travel across the ocean to the hall of initiation, which has now become uncovered with the sand of centuries that had lain upon it. And it's a long hall, a great hall filled with columns and pictures. And you're floating above it, and you can see the roof of the building. And then you're able to just drift down into the building. And as you come through the roof, you realize that there is a smell to the hall, like the smell of great cracked stone. The smell, the slightly musty smell, the sound of echoing as the stone surfaces echo even your breathing. And you find yourself standing at one end of the hall, and in front of you, there are 11 pictures on either side, very tall pictures, pictures that are maybe 10 feet tall by 3 or 4 or 5 feet wide. Very, very big pictures, and they're beautifully painted. And on little sconces in front of each picture, not in the center, but on either side of each picture, the hall is illuminated. And you can look to your left and see that on your left is the Fool. And the picture shows him falling through the air past a dead tree stump, falling through the air with a feather, with a hat, with a dog, with a bag. There next to the cut-off tree are 7 colored stones. And a great mountain rises in the back as a pale yellow color permeates everything. And as you look, you realize that in fact, instead of being a painting, this large surface is actually a window. And it's sealed. It's got glass over the front of it, so you can see that there is a fool. And when the glass is removed or dissolves, as it will in a moment, then the action that is being frozen in time will come back. Will begin to move again. And as you watch and wonder, in fact, the glass does dissolve. And if you feel safe, you can take a step toward this world that you now have access to, that you're now privy to. And you can step over the threshold and into the world of this powerful fool. And notice what is happening now. Notice if you're still in flight or if you've landed. Notice if the fool is paying attention to you or paying attention to something else. Notice what the dog is doing. Notice if the dog is paying attention to the fool or to you. Where are the objects and what is being done with them? Now is your time to engage with this powerful archetype and to play. To notice if the fool or the dog want to play and how they want to play and how you want to play with them. And you continue playing. And something else now happens. And you know that soon it will be time to go, and so you begin to say your goodbyes. You say your goodbyes to the fool and to his animal. And you notice that one or the other of them has something special to whisper in your ear. And just allow that secret from this world to be transmitted to you through your ear. And now you finally say goodbye and walk toward the open window and step back into the hall. And as you look behind you, as you turn around and look, the glass comes back over the window. And the window turns back into a painting. And you might notice, just if you imagine smelling your hands or smelling your clothes, that the world of the fool left behind a smell. Just notice what that is and remember it. Now you're back in the center of the hall, and on your right is a great painting of a figure who has breasts, but may be ambiguously gendered. It's a hermaphroditic kind of figure, surrounded by a spiral of blue, holding wands that emit light from both ends, coming through the twisted green tendrils of the Vesica pescis. And behind this figure, all of the universe. And surrounding the opening through which this figure comes is the clouded world. And figures, 4 figures, the human figure in the upper left, and the eagle in the upper right, and the bull in the lower left, and the lion in the lower bright. And as you stare at it, it becomes a window. And you approach. And as you approach, the window glass dissolves and you step into this world. And notice what happens when you step into the world. And notice, first of all, the smell that you smell from this environment. What do you get when you come here in your nostrils? What do you get when you come here on your skin? What do you get when you come here in your ears? What sounds do you hear? And notice that it's actually quite easy to interact with this figure. That things happen. Just allow what naturally wants to happen with this powerful archetype to happen. And notice that there are these 4 characters that have been watching the corners. Do you interact with them? Do you interact with the wands, or does this figure keep them? And you realize that it's time to play. That's right. You play in a certain way with these characters, and then something else happens. And something else. And you know that you're going to have to leave soon, so you begin to say your goodbyes. And one of the characters here has a special message for you and leans forward and whispers that message into the other ear than the character in the other one did. So just present the other ear and allow the gift to be received. What does this character say to you now? And once you've said your goodbyes, you can make a movement toward the entrance and step over the threshold back into the hall of initiation and watch as the glass seals back up over and the window becomes once again a painting. And stand for a moment with the experience of the Fool vibrating one side of you and the experience of the world vibrating the other side of you. And notice the paradox inside. Notice what is inside that is created from the simultaneity of both the Fool and the world. And now your experience here is complete, so allow yourself to float up through the roof of this temple, up, up, up through the roof of the temple, and back to the place where your body has remained safely ensconced, and enter your body again. Allow the sand that is in it to become heavy once again, and then to drain out so that you are able to move again. And so just take a slightly deeper, more alerting breath. And Wiggle your fingers and toes. And come back to the present. Welcome back, everyone.